going to be cleaning my Instant Pot. So it's been a while since I bought it, so I think it's probably, since the new year, is probably only right that I like give it its first cleaning. It's got some buildup and gunk everywhere. And if this goes untreated, eventually it'll cause problems in the Instant Pot itself, whether it can't come up to pressure or you won't be able to close the lid or things like this. So, oh, and also we actually have a viewer right now who's actually having some problems with her Instant Pot Duo Evo coming to pressure. So we're gonna see if we can't figure that out. Some troubleshooting for her. All right, so anyways, here's my Instant Pot. It's the Pro Plus. We're gonna give this thing a good cleaning today. As you can see, the outside's got some like just crumbles and stuff. I used this a little bit early last night. Okay, I didn't clean it last night. All right, so the strainer is a little, or the steaming basket, it's a little dirty. And if you can see, I got like, buildup right here. It's just wet, but that'll be fine. We'll clean everything. We'll give everything a quick cleaning. Okay, so Obsidian Kitty, so you say you're having trouble with your Instant Pot Evo or Duo Evo coming to pressure. So a few things that could be causing that. So right up here is where you have your sealing ring. So occasionally this will come off the track like that, and it'll make it pretty tough to close the Instant Pot, but it can be done. But that could be a reason that your Instant Pot is not coming up to pressure. You can also check. You could do a test. You could do take a cup or two of water and put it in there and just hit pressure cook, and then put it to like 3 or 4 minutes or something, and then you can see exactly where the steam is coming out. And there you'll know exactly where the problem is. And like you can just like pinpoint it down to the area that it's having a leak, whether it be the sealing ring. Sometimes the metal on here gets like dented and it won't create a perfect seal, or something in here. Maybe there's too much buildup along the rim. See, mine has a little bit right there. I don't know what that is. I'll clean it out. But that could be a problem too. Also, sometimes if you've used your Instant Pot a lot, there's this little, I forget what it's called, float valve right here. So when the Instant Pot builds up pressure, builds up enough steam pressure, it'll push that up, creating a seal, and that's how it's cooked, right? So sometimes food gets built up under this thing, and then when this thing can't seal itself, when it can't create a perfect seal, that could be another reason why it's not sealing. Okay, I changed the ring. I had a spare. Okay, good. So we know that's out. So those are like the main things. Either the pot's, that's probably the most least likely that the pot is deformed. But right here, I actually had this problem a few times. So like food will get built up right there. You can pop this little thing off. All you have to do is like put it back on. But you just gotta clean all around there, and then this will create a seal. But yeah. So another thing, possibly this gasket is this cover is dirty, so you could clean that as well. And that is just a pull off thing. You just pull it off, and then there it goes. Male or female? God. All right. So to get this back on, it's a little tricky. All you got to do is kind of like press it on there, and then I find the best technique is to kind of like rub it in a circle to get it back on. It's kind of tricky. Only because it's like silicone and it's kind of hard. But there you go. Got it back on there. Good as new. Also, they make replacements for that too. I don't have it linked in this video, but if you go on Amazon, you can find this pretty easily. But yeah, I would suggest pressure cooking for about 5 minutes. Finding the leak, finding where it's coming out of, and then inspecting that area. So, yeah, that's the best advice I could give. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Okay, so today we're going to be cleaning this Instant Pot. Let's see if we got anything else from the UK. I've ordered mine from Amazon here. Cool, yeah, no problem. That's awesome. All right, so yeah, let's take this over to the sink. We're gonna get this all set up and ready to wash. I'll show you how to take it apart and which things to clean the most. We'll start with the basket, of course, because that is probably the dirtiest right now. This is a steam basket for your Instant Pot. It's great for dumplings or any kind of, no problem, Obsidian Kitty, you have a good day. So this is the great, really good for vegetables if you want to steam your vegetables or dumplings. You can tell I cooked dumplings in there earlier because there's still some residue left in there. We're going to get that all nice and cleaned off. So I like to use high pressure spray, or not high pressure, but bigger spray for this, just to like spray off the inside. Otherwise, you're gonna sit here with like a little scrubber forever trying to get that stuff in, and then when you scrub it in, you often mash the contents into the wire mesh opposed to just getting it out. So this kind of like helps spray it out. And then when all the residue is basically gone, you can just get in there with your scrubber, hit it with some soap, and then really clean this thing. I like to do the bottom first and then move out towards the sides. There we go. This is actually a great little tool. So you see all this green silicone around the edges that would touch the element or where you touch it with your hands. It stays really cool. So even if it's been pressure cooking for, 20 minutes, or not pressure cooking, steaming for like 20 minutes, super hot steam, it's gonna be fine. You can touch it almost right out of the Instant Pot. If you touch, obviously, the green silicone parts. There we go. And there you have it, good as new with the steamer basket. We're just gonna put that right over there. And then we can move on to our stainless steel pot. So, just gonna get the outside. So the Instant Pot Pros are gonna come with the stainless steel pots as well as the higher end models. The regular models are just gonna get this, I think it's just aluminum pots. But yeah, these are really good. You can even use these on the stove. It's not recommended, but it is stainless steel. But they also come with silicone handles, so you can hold this right out of the, pull it right out of the Instant Pot, and it's not gonna be hot. I think that's a game-changing feature that the Instant Pot has added to the Pro Wi-Fi models and most of the Pro models. I think they might even have it on the Duo, on the Duo Plus. Yeah, you just want to give it a nice scrub since it's probably getting a lot of use. I don't know if you're like me, but I use my Instant Pot every other day, if not every day. It's probably the best multi-cooker on the market right now. Ninja with their, I forget what their pressure cooker's called, but they try. I haven't tried that one yet. I really want to, but I am pretty loyal to the Instant Pot brand. Only because they've just been so good, so high quality for so many years. So here we go. Here is your lid. It's kind of like, let's go over this real quick. So here is your steam release valve. Here's your steam release thing. And if you pull this off, it's real easy to pull off, as you can see, and you can press it right back on. So this makes it very modular and easy to clean. So the float valve is right here. And if I flip it upside down, you can see the little red pin. Okay, so now if we flip it over, you have your sealing ring, you have your float valve right here, and here's your steam vent, or your steam valve. And then this comes with a little protector piece over it. So that'll guard from food. You don't want the food getting in there. Look how intricate that is. Like, and there's like small little crevices where food can get trapped and debris can get trapped. You don't want that because this is what releases the steam. And if this is clogged and your steam doesn't release, that means the whole Instant Pot doesn't open. So that's always a really good thing to keep clean. They make this for a reason, but this needs cleaning sometimes too. So as you've seen before, here is your the float valve and your float valve cover right there. This is a silicone seal right here that when enough pressure is built inside the Instant Pot, this is going to pop up, creating that seal. And it's an audible click when it's come to pressure. It sounds like, well, it sounds more dramatic than that. It sounds like click, and then you know your Instant Pot is sealed. Here is your sealing ring. This comes off pretty easily. Do you see how I did that with one hand? Everybody thinks it's so hard. It's really not hard. It's so easy. You just pull it off. Don't worry, it's silicone. It's really, really tough. You're not gonna break it. So this, you always need to give it a clean every few months or more, depending on how much you cook with it. But it's always a good idea to keep this clean, because if this comes off, or if this gets built up, and that'll make it harder for the Instant Pot to seal. Maybe it won't even seal at all. But this can also get, depending on what you're cooking, if you are, depending on what you're cooking, this can collect smells. So you don't want that. You want to like clean this every few weeks, depending on how much you cook. But yeah, you don't want any smells in this thing. You can like soak it in like, I think it's like baking soda and vinegar to get all those smells out. But a little preventative maintenance will extend the life of this, so you're not going to get those smells as quick. But eventually you will have to replace these things. These things, I would assume, depending on how much you cook, are probably good for about a year or two maybe. Okay, let's finish cleaning all the rest of the stuff. So steam valve, this is like the whisper quiet. So like this, I don't know how it does it. I don't know the design of it, but it's way less quiet, or way less loud than the normal Instant Pot. So it sounds like it's like a whisper when it comes out. It's still kind of loud, but it's definitely not as dramatic as the normal Instant Pot releases when your steam releases. This is a cover to reduce splatter. You want to give that a quick clean. Oh, yeah. I'm going to put this right in there. And then we have this guy. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna definitely want to do that to extend the life of your sealing ring. Otherwise, you got to buy a new one. They're not all that expensive, but it is kind of a pain to get it all done. Okay, so this is not one of the electric lids, so you can wash this like this. There's no electrical components, so you can get it wet. Just gonna go like this. But like if you have like a Instant Pot, like the air fryer version, I wouldn't do this, or I wouldn't get it wet, just because obviously the air fryer unit is on top, and water historically has never mixed very well with electronics or electrical parts. This comes up, so you can see the metal pan. Give that a quick scrub it down. Rinse this out. So the base is a little different. Obviously, we can't submerge that one in water, but we're going to give it a nice wipe anyways. And then obviously, this is a pretty new unit. There's not too much debris or grossness under there. We're going to give it a small little scrub anyways, just to make sure. Look at that, all sparkly and new. Even got that new car smell right there. Okay, cool. So now we're going to put this over here. I just did dishes, so we got like a ton of them right over here. So I gotta find a place for this. Oh, maybe I'm just gonna keep it right in here. Yeah, okay, whatever. Wash this little grate. And then we're gonna leave this for a little while to kind of dry out. I'm like 99.99999% sure that there's no electrical parts in this lid, but on the off chance there is, we can mitigate that by letting it dry fully before connecting it back to the electricity. No, it doesn't do anything. I forgot. It doesn't have any electrical parts, so we're okay with that. All right, next, you have your Instant Pot itself. So as you can see, let's get you a little closer. As you can see up here, you're gonna find like little, just like debris all over the place. This is why you always gotta keep it clean. The element, I don't really touch too much, unless there's like huge stains on it. This is just from just normal use. I don't see anything wrong with that. Unless there's actual food sticking on here, I'm not gonna touch it. Only because you can create cool spots if you use like a hard scrubbing tool, or you scrub too much, which would cause micro abrasions, and then that would be like a cool spot in there. And so that area of the Instant Pot wouldn't heat as effectively as it normally would. So I'm gonna stay away from that, but we are going to grab some disinfecting wipes. So just normal, whatever, disinfecting wipes. And I'm gonna get in here and just get this out of here. Just clean it up a little bit. There's not gonna be any water, anything like that, getting into electrical parts. The electrical parts are all on the back here, right next to your condensation collector. So they're all in here. So you don't wanna get this wet, even though the condensation collector is right here. It's housed, but I wouldn't take any chances not submerging this thing. Otherwise, everything else is under there that's electric. You absolutely cannot get wet. Otherwise, your Instant Pot is donezo. And I'm pretty sure the warranty is voided. I don't know. But, well, water damage on like most electronics usually voids the warranty. I wonder if that's the same thing on the Instant Pot or cooking stuff like this, or appliances. You want to get in these little crevices back here because that's where all the food gets stuck. I don't know if you can see that. Can you? Right there. Yeah. Get in there and just get that out of there. If there's any buildup, you're going to get it right there. And then this will help to create a better seal and make sure your Instant Pot's not getting stuck, or there's any leaks because of buildup that would cause like the Instant Pot to slightly rise, I guess, and get off the tracks. All right, so let's get the inside of the pot. We're not going to touch the element too much. We're just going to get around here. Okay, just gonna wipe in here. Then wipe it down some more. Also, if you guys like this type of content, please subscribe. Consider liking the stream. It really helps out. All right, so here's your condensation collector. Blah, 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 I can talk. Here is your condensation collector. So when you are cooking, it creates steam, right? And steam builds up and then it causes runoff. So the runoff is gonna come down over here and then go out through this little hole. The hole is gonna look like that. And then that is gonna go right into this condensation collector. And this is super easy to remove. Take 2 fingers, feel the little abrasions right there, the little grippies. Take it off like that, and then you just dump this out. Did that right there, and then you just feel around to where it sticks back in, and then there you go. You've replaced that. Super easy. It's a super easy way to maintain your Instant Pot, because when that overflows, all the water has nowhere to go, and then it just pools up right around here. And again, the electrical unit is right next to this, so that's a big no-no. There it is right there. So by removing that, you mitigate a lot of that water and a lot of that risk attributed to being lazy. And don't get me wrong, this is probably the first time I've cleaned or I've removed that thing in weeks. Only because like it doesn't really there's not a whole lot of runoff oftentimes. I do a lot of steaming at low temperatures, and I don't cook a lot of like soupy or watery things, so there's not a whole lot all the time, but sometimes there is. Okay, so we're taking the disinfecting wipe and we're kind of just wiping around the Instant Pot just to get any smudges or crumbs or built up things on the outside of the housing. So we'll go like that. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the outside of the Instant Pot. You want to keep your little touchscreen all nice and sparkly. I like that. Oh, we did something. Cancel. Okay, cool. You know what? Just go like that. I probably should have done that in the first place. Anyways, so now you know how to clean your Instant Pot. And that was like pretty much everything. You don't really ever have to open this up unless you're like really doing some maintenance. Yeah, I would never open that up unless you know what you're doing. Or if you're changing like some kind of like sensor. You can buy sensors online, and like replacement sensors to help your Instant Pot start working again. But you need to go through a pretty extensive replacement kind of like tutorial. I know they have some on YouTube, and they're really easy to follow, so you could do it. But just so you know, you are going to be I don't know what that does with the warranty, whether you installing replacement parts voids it or doesn't void it. I don't know. So just be wary of that. You might want to look at the warranty, all the fine print. Okay, so ooh, this is bad orange. Okay, so let's reassemble it. Got your Instant Pot lid all nice and clean, or your Instant Pot all nice and clean. And then you have your lid. Okay, so this is still a little wet. So I'm gonna dry it off real quick. Take a paper towel or a regular towel. Either one works. Just gonna wipe it down. Gonna get everything all nice and dry. Then you want to reassemble everything. So you want to get your sealing ring, and this is real easy to put back together as well. I'll do it again with one hand. So you line it up with the track. Here's the track, and then you just push one part in. So the one finger, you just go. Oh. All right, your finger and your thumb. Anyways, just pointing it out that it's super easy, and then you just put that all the way back in, work your way around. Okay, and then you can see that it's seated properly on the track by just looking. And there it is. Okay, so now you want to get your the guard for your steam release all nice and dry and clean, and then you just pop this back into place. That was easy, right? All right, so flip back over your lid, and then you want to put the steam kind of valve right here, right on top of it. And again, that's really easy. And it's supposed to be wobbly, so that's fine. And then get your kind of like the guard up here, and just pop that into place as well. All right, and then we have the great little plastic cover piece. I'm gonna try this off as well. And then I'm gonna pop that back into place. So with that, you kind of just scoop it into the back and then pinch it back in. Okay, and then close it up, and then you are all set, ready to go. Plug it in, make sure it works. There we go. And then you successfully cleaned your Instant Pot. All right, thanks guys for watching. That was a quick one. If you have any questions, I guess comment it down below. But for that, we are out of here. Have a good one.